So for this video, I'm going to paint the door, and we're going to change out this lock to a keyless entry lock, deadbolt. To get started here, I'm going to be removing this door. Of course, I'll be removing the lock as well. But in order to prepare this door and sand it, I need to remove it from its hinges. So that's what we are going to do. And as you can see here, it's just all damaged, but I do have hinges with these screws here that I'm going to be removing. Now there's 3 hinges, and there's one on the bottom there. So let me grab my drill. And this is what we're going to use to make it more efficient. Okay? So try to remove the screws if you can. Do it very lightly though. You don't want to strip the screws. And you just want to lightly tap to kind of remove those or back those out. If that doesn't work, you're going to want to change a different bit. Here it's a Phillips screwdriver head. And I'm going to try a different one here, as you can see. Has a better form fit because the other one just really wasn't working. And if that doesn't work, of course, you want to use the old screwdriver, tap it in to break the paint that's covering the screw, and get a little bit of handle feel on it, or manual feel, I should say, and try to back those out. Okay? Now, you don't have to remove the entire screw. And if there's paint that's covering those where you can't back them out, get a razor blade or a scribe like I have here, and just etch out and carve out and remove the paint that's around the screws. Be careful not to cut yourself. All right, there we go. So now I'm going to get my screwdriver back in there. And again, if that doesn't work, try a different type of screwdriver. But again, a manual, regular Phillips head screwdriver at this point. And then I'm able to back those out. And then you want to take all the screws and put them in a container because you're going to have to put them back in. You don't want to make sure they're lying all over the place. And here, as you remove the screws, the door is going to tilt. So I put some of these paint sticks basically as a wedge to keep the door level, and this way I'm able to remove it safely without bending the hinges. So now I'm going to take it out, pull it into my garage, and I have a table set up, or you can use seesaws, or you can even use 2 chairs. You just want to make sure those chairs are braced properly. So here we go. Just got to pivot the camera a little bit. Okay, here we go. Now this is an exterior door, so exterior doors, at least in California here, by building code, they have to have like a metal sheath on it so they don't burn. So it was a little bit heavier than a normal interior door. And now, I could remove this lower handle lock, but I'm just going to go ahead and tape it. Make sure it's completely taped, because I don't want paint to get on that. And here it's just easier to tape it up. Now I use a flathead screwdriver, and I just kind of wedge in the tape there to make sure it's not sticking out onto the door itself. I only want the handle to be taped. Case in point. Alright, so now I'm going to remove the deadbolt lock, because I'm going to be replacing it itself. Now I'm not going to show that in this video. I mean, the instructions, you just replace everything back in. Pretty simple. My main thing here is just, fixing up the door, painting up the door, getting it back on. So once the door is removed, I forgot to buy plastic. So I'm using trash bags, which I split apart, placing the tape on the door jamb here because it's going to make it easier to hang up the cut plastic trash bags. Case in point, this is what I did. This keeps all the cold air in. So now I am going to be prepping my door. So I'm using a window scraper to scrape any other uneven surfaces. I sanded it. Now I have the paint. And for this paint here, I'm just going to pour it directly onto the door. I'm not going to be working from the paint can, because here I'm just going to use a roller and smooth it out across the entire surface of the door. And this is very satisfying, just seeing it take shape here with a newly painted surface. As you can see, I taped up the peephole as well. I don't want to paint that over. So here's the finished product. I taped the edges, make sure I have clean lines, let it dry. This dried for about 2 hours. As you can see, I put in the keyless entry lock. This one has a code, and you can just do a one-button push to extend the deadbolt, just like that. And then on the inside here, you just have a manual twist, and you can lock your home.